So what exactly is branding and what exactly is marketing? What are the differences between these two, and how do you use these two in order to build a successful and yet an impactful business? This is what we are going to learn in today's episode. Before we start, let's roll the intro first. Hey people, how's it going? Welcome back to yet another interesting episode on the Marketing Manifest podcast. This is MLAG, your host. Today we have a special guest who's none other than Vanshika Mehta. Vanshika is a branding and storytelling consultant who helps startups and small medium businesses by telling them their true story with a strategy and alongside with appropriate content. Today she has over 65,000 wide audience globally of entrepreneurs and community builders on a LinkedIn profile with whom she actively converses on a day-to-day basis by posting such amazing contents. She's been featured on websites such as Tapchief, Tallwalkers, Visors, and more. I welcome Vanshika to the Marketing Manifest show. Hey Vanshika, how's it going?
Good. So lovely to be here. I am so excited to share all the little nuggets of knowledge I have about this topic.
Awesome. I mean, it's my my pleasure to have you on this show today, Vanshika.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, Vanshika, could you just tell us your story? How did all this happen?
Yeah, I mean, so let's actually start at the very beginning. I was born and brought up in Dubai. Okay. Studied in Boston. I graduated with an undergrad in marketing and management from Northeastern University in 2016. I worked till November 2019 when I unfortunately had to quit my job because of some personal reasons. And 2020 Jan was when I started becoming a solopreneur, and I jumped headfirst into branding and storytelling. So I think branding is something that kind of fell in my lap, and it really kind of got onto me. It kind of crawled on me, and it just grew on me because the more I stayed in marketing, I realized that there's so much more. That was the thing that I always felt inside. Marketing is not the way great brands or businesses are built. Marketing gets you customers, marketing keeps customers and all of that. But branding is really like that, that like sunshine on a business that makes that business what it is. Very true. So I, out of curiosity, started reading about branding and storytelling. And once I did that, I think there was just no end to it. Until today, I'm still learning new things and reading such interesting content, be it on LinkedIn, be it on Medium, be it on Quora. And I'm just so fascinated by it. And I think I've never felt happier. I mean, being into marketing is great. I mean, there are strategies, you get to experiment, you get to do so much. But within branding, it's like really when you push, the pedal and you have to kind of accelerate as fast as you can. And I think that's just the beautiful part about branding and storytelling. So really excited and really happy that this kind of eureka moment happened to me fairly early in my career rather than later on. So can't complain at all.
Awesome. I guess, listening to what you said, I guess we both are on the same ship. And me being a computer science engineer, marketing is something that happened all of a sudden to me. And once I got into this field, it's been really amazing for me. And I've grown up to I've grown to a level which was unexpected and all those stuff. So awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you have to find your true calling, and the earlier you do it, the better. The earlier it happens to you, the better. Yeah, right. So I really can't complain. I've been blessed.
Awesome. Okay, so let's get into today's question, Vanshika. So today's topic is all about marketing versus branding. So I'm going to ask you this. So when we are building a business, there are this so many buzzwords, right? That gets thrown every now and then. And there are these two concepts in particular that can be actually lumped together, which is none other than marketing and branding. So what exactly are the definition and what is exactly the differences between these two buzzwords?
Yeah, I think that's a really interesting question. So let's just say marketing is what gets people to your business. branding is what keeps them. I think that is the best answer, because branding is something that touches every single part of your organization. Branding is the way that the organization portrays itself in every single way to your customer. When you buy an Apple iPhone, do you buy it because it's an Apple iPhone, or do you buy it because you need a phone? That is a minor difference. I mean, any phone can do, right? Why would you go for an Apple iPhone? That is really good branding. And branding is that perception that is stuck in your head by default, by over and over and over, not just saying things, but keeping up to the promises. Like, if you buy an Apple iPhone today and it conks off tomorrow, you know for a fact that these people are going to replace it for you, no questions asked. Unless there's water damage, there is that clause, so be careful. But that brand value that is built around customer centricity, about really good quality, about innovation, about that there's also the branding which goes with Apple, which is like the premiumness of it, right? Like, no phone will not do what you need it to do, right? You could buy any phone and it'll do what you need it to do. But the way that Apple has built that brand perception over the years, to be something where it is not only just saying but living up to the promises. I mean, I don't know a single person today who doesn't wait for that Apple keynote to happen every single year.
I understand.
The
Even I have few of my
Apple
friends.
Keynote,
few of my friends are there, like they literally wait for the day when they release that new phone.
WhatsApp goes crazy the day that Apple keynote happens. No other brand has been able to do that. I mean, there are brands who do these keynotes and great launches, but nobody has been able to build that hype around a conference or whatever, a brand launch. I mean, the way that Apple does it is so sophisticated, it's so trustworthy, and it's something that people know they are really excited about, because everybody's waiting for like what's next from Apple. So I think branding is really like, marketing is getting people in, branding is keeping them engaged, keeping them coming back, building that brand love, and so much more. I mean, I can go on for hours about this. So if I go on, I think I'm going to eat up all your questions. So I'm going to stop right here. And
Awesome.
I think that's the truest definition of branding.
Great. So okay, now let's imagine that you're building your own startup. So what do you think which comes first? Is it the marketing side or is it the branding side? Like, could you just walk us through the entire process on how these two works individually?
Yeah, that's a really cool question. So a lot of times people don't realize they're doing branding because they just think it's part of what they have to do. But the fact that you have a name, you have a color associated with you, you have a logo, you have a tagline, you have a mission, vision, you have all of those statements, you have the brand purpose, you have brand communication guidelines. So the initial part of branding, right? Everybody does it, and that is sort of the default, right? You can't have a company without a name or a logo or a color. So that is the first part of branding that everybody does by default. And they just have to do it, right? So that is the given part, like those essential parts of branding. But then what happens in a startup is that the biggest thing is that branding doesn't get you immediate customers. Even if you have a brand department with like 6 people, you're not going to get a customer tomorrow, which is why a lot of people and a lot of startups start marketing. They're like, that's the easy option, right? You have to earn money, you have to give a customer something, proof of concept. So marketing obviously takes precedence.
Okay.
But then what happens is that when you start doing paid marketing, you start doing organic marketing, your sales are really good, your customers are coming back, your lifetime value is high, your order value is high. They don't see the need for branding. So branding is not something that's a nice to have, it is a need to have. But a lot of startups think that it's just a sort of money bucket. Like, a lot of startups think that branding is not something that will get me a customer, so why should I invest? So because of that, they ignore it very, very commonly till they've grown to some size where they're like, oh, maybe we should start doing brand campaigns. I mean, there's nothing wrong or right. I mean, obviously, I understand from a startup's perspective, like money is short, you need customers, you need revenue, you need to prove that your concept is working. So marketing is the by default. But I would also say, like, when you're hiring a marketing person, hire someone who knows a little bit about branding, because see, brand awareness campaigns can happen at the same time as your marketing campaign. So for example, like, not to stress this too long, but so for example, like, you know, if you have an ad that's going on say Facebook and all, saying hi, this is this company X and we do Y, that's sort of a branding campaign. That's not a marketing campaign. And somebody who's tuned to just normal marketing would not even think of this, because this is a campaign that can run for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. It's a very generic top of the funnel activity. But not all marketers would think of it, because they would think of like conversion campaigns, affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, and all of that. So hire someone who knows a little bit about branding and marketing, because they'll be able to at least keep brand alive while doing marketing, rather than just doing marketing and having a dead brand. So I mean, I understand, but hire someone who knows a little bit of both. I mean, the long-term effect is much larger when you think of it, like looking back 2, 3, 5 years from now. You need to have some sort of branding as well as marketing. They have to go hand in hand, but very often they're ignored.
Awesome. I guess I got a lot of insight. Like being a marketer, I mean, it's really important for a marketer to even know each and every aspects of branding. So, I mean, let me ask you this now. So, some people say that branding is more than just a logo, right? As you said in your previous answer, I mean, previous question, you answered this. So, but that's not it, right? Like, how do you think this branding and the art of storytelling takes place together?
Yeah. So, see, the thing with branding is that you are not looking for the sale. Your objective is completely different. Your objective is to bring people into your brand, to trust you, to say things and then deliver on them. You are not looking for a customer. Like, if you think branding is going to get you a customer, you're highly mistaken. It might, like if you do an awareness campaign, you would probably get conversions. But again, that is not the main goal, right? Like, the goal of branding is to bring people into this kind of circle that you're building around your brand. And when you say like brand is not a logo, brand is storytelling, brand is pulling at emotions, that is so true, because see, a brand campaign needs to tell your audience a story that they either are expecting or not expecting, and yet still would react to it. It's only then that a brand campaign would actually work. Also, the thing with brand campaigns and storytelling is that if your brand campaign is not able to be cohesive, people will get lost. And that is like the basis of storytelling, is that you build such a cohesive, like A leads to B leads to C leads to D, that it's just beautiful. For example, like actually this morning, apparently I saw on LinkedIn, Cred is redoing their app, and as you all probably know, they've got involved with IPL, and so they just released this really cool video where it's got like that IPL-ish kind of feel. It's like someone throwing a ball and the wickets falling in the Cred app. They're saying that they're launching a new Cred app. So that is a brand campaign, right? They're not looking for customers. They're just trying to tell the story and bring that recall in that, hey, Cred is associated with IPL. It's coincidental that their revamp is happening at the same time, but the way they've tied it in together, it's beautiful. It's a maybe 20-second video. You go on LinkedIn, I'm sure you'll see a couple of them. I saw 3-4 of them today. So that's the beauty of branding, right? It's about building that emotion and building that recall. So now when I look at that ad or that simple video that they've done, I obviously know Cred because of that black background, very simplistic, white, very sharp figures. I mean, their app is like the design of the brand design is like that. And then they linked it to IPL, which is again, people will recognize because we all know it went in the news, right? That Cred is going to be associated with IPL. And So it's a brand campaign. So that's the difference, right? You need to tell a story that people relate to, they'll remember, and it'll help you build recall. And for that, you need a story because humans can't connect A to Z to C to
That's
F.
right.
Like
Very true.
they'll be
Yeah.
able to connect A, B, C, D. So it's very, very simple. And like anybody can see, I don't think storytelling is magic. To be very honest, anybody can do it. You just have to kind of learn how to do it. It's just like learning cooking, right? You learn how to cook and you cook.
Yeah.
You learn how to tell a story and you tell a story. So I suggest everybody should learn how to do it. I don't think there's anybody who can't do it.
I mean, this is
But it really
definitely
helps with your brand.
I mean, I feel this is, definitely a very good point which you, told us. Like, even the audience is gonna definitely benefit out of this, because like once you learn the art of storytelling, I feel then nobody else can catch you. Like, whether it is a brand or if it is a personal brand, if you master storytelling, then you're way above. You're not anywhere down there.
Yeah, totally. I mean, think of any great brand. Think of Nike. Think of Amul.
Everybody has a story to tell.
Everybody, yeah. I mean, they built that story over years. Like, and I mean, they've done it so beautifully. So yeah, it's totally possible. It just requires a little bit of creativity, a little bit of understanding your audience, their demographic, what they're looking for, and then mixing it two together.
So the Creed example which you told me, so you said like they changed their apps UI and UX like based on the IPL and all those stuff. So I mean, I want to ask you this thing. So there is this saying thing called as like marketing strategies will come and go, but branding is forever. So what is your thought on this? Like, I mean, definitely like a brand should be remembered forever, right? So I mean, what is your, I mean, like I just wanted to hear it from you itself. What do you think?
Yeah, totally. So see, again, goes back to the same thing, right? Marketing is to get you customers. Marketing is to build your whatever, like, market valuation and market cap and all of that, right? But the thing with branding, and the hardest thing to do in branding, is to stay consistent. Because if you are not consistent with your message, your audience is going to get confused. See, with paid ads, for example, take paid ads, right? Every 15 days you have to change your creative. And after 15 days, I mean, if you change it and you kind of say like, okay, this vibe is not working, I want to change everything to yellow. Your customer probably won't say anything because they know that, like, if they see a promoted or a sponsored tag on the top, they're like, okay, we know that this is from this brand, and customers are fairly, like, they're easy in terms of understanding. But branding is such a thing that it relies on the concept of shared value. So like Nike is not producing shoes and clothes. Nike is bringing the sports community together. That is their shared value. They want people to be healthy. They want people to engage in sport. They want to build a community around it. And by the way, Nike also does XYZ. So I think the thing with branding is that once you decide on what path you're taking, or what that community is going to mean, or what those shared values are, or even down to what the brand messaging pillars are, like what do we stand for, what are the 3 or 4 things that we stand for. Once you decide that with branding, it's fairly set in stone, unless you go for a massive rebrand and you change everything, and that's a whole different story. A great example of a rebrand that just very recently happened is so there was this brand called And Nothing Else. They basically do protein bars in India. They're very, very like healthy protein bars, and their entire brand is set on telling the consumer 100% what is in that protein bar. And their entire branding was around building that transparency in the food chain. And recently they rebranded to, they changed from And Nothing Else to The Whole Truth. And their rebrand, they changed all their packaging, their social media, everything changed. But if you go and you look at their website and you say, after that you retargeted, their brand campaign on the retargeting is so beautifully done because they know that people used to know them by this name, which was And Nothing Else, and now they are called The Whole Truth. So what they've done is the first slide of the ad that you'll see will have the protein bar and a discount code or something like that. The next slide, when you tap, it clearly mentions that and nothing else is now the whole truth. And I think that is something that has come from a branding angle, that has not come from a marketing angle. So they've done it very beautifully, and the brand switchover has been done very beautifully. So that's a really good case study. If you're going to go look at it online, go check out their website. Shashank, who's the owner, is very friendly on LinkedIn. Go have a chat with him and just kind of understand how they did this rebrand, because they've done it very, very well.
I mean, I guess they have done their transition a bit sweet, I guess.
Yes. So a lot of brands make that mistake of hard chopping. The thing with a hard chop is that there is going to be a disconnect till you reinstate your new brand. So what I like about them is that they've done it very smoothly. They made it very clear that, hey, this is the same company. We just changed the name and our branding, and this is a new change. And there's also a long article, I believe, from Shashank on the website. So beautiful example in how to rebrand. So yeah, that's to answer your question. I guess
like businesses, right? I mean, in today's world, like I feel businesses should concentrate more in-depth stuff like these, like that. As you said, like instead of doing a hard chopping thing, it's better to do it in a smooth way, because that's when they don't lose their existing customers and they try to get in more customers with more credibility and more trust and all those stuff.
Yeah, so and you have to build that story around why you're changing, right? Don't just rebrand and like change your logo, change your website UI and not explain it. That's the stupidest thing you can do. So any brand that has done a rebrand recently has really written a story about why the change was needed. And I think they've done it beautifully.
Awesome. So Vanshika, can you just relate us with any of your 2 case studies wherein you've worked with both in terms of marketing and branding?
Yeah, so I would say the most recent one was I was working on a pitch deck for a very large deep tech company, and so obviously like the pitch deck was getting made and I was obviously part of it, and it came to that one slide about like that second slide that you show on a pitch deck, right? When you're pitching to investors or whatever, you have the first slide like this is this, and then the next slide is who we are. And I had to build that strategic narrative around who we are, because the one that they had wasn't really doing the job well. And when I took it on, the problem was that their entire brand and branding and the way that they were positioning themselves was like, hey, we are a deep tech company. And I'm like, no, you're not. You are more than just what you do. And so I had to have this really long conversation with the CEO and the team and be like, what do you act like? What is the benefit, or what are you doing that makes the world better? If you tell an investor you're a deep tech company, okay, great. So what? There are 500 others of them.
I mean, that's the question like everybody's going to ask, right?
Yes. So you build that story not around like we are an X company, but hey, we are an X company that does this so that this happens and therefore that happens. And so the way that it's come out right now is just beautiful. Like it's a complete shift from what they were doing before. And right now it's so much more relatable. And that comes with obviously a little bit of a branding twist and a storytelling twist as to like, you are tech. Okay, great. Everybody's a tech company today. What do you do different? Yeah. What do you do that's different from everybody else? So that was one of the best examples. And another really cool project that I worked on a couple of months ago was for Amazon A+ content. It came through a friend of mine, and so it's a shoe brand in India. It's called Soul Threads. And they do really funky, they do really funky, cool shoes. And so a project who's the CEO reached out to me and said like, hey, I'm writing this A+ content and I need help. So the marketing side was obviously figuring out what the product features are, but he wanted to turn the A+ content into more of like a vibe kind of content. Like he wanted to use that place to kind of bring out a vibe. So every shoe that I had worked on has a vibe. Like either it's like a road trip vibe, or it's a beach vibe, or it's a movie vibe, or it's a kind of brunch vibe. So we kind of picked that vibe, which is what I would largely loosely say is the branding. Then we wrote the story around it based on the features. Like, for example, if some some shoe, slipper or flip flop had like a breathable sole, then we kind of built that story around why it's perfect for a long drive. So that is the storytelling part, and then the branding part would be kind of making sure that together this shoe gives off that vibe, like, this is a cool shoe that you can wear to brunch. So yeah, that was a really fun project because I had never done A+ content before for Amazon, and it allowed me to kind of obviously use the marketing side of my brain, which was like figure out what is special with the flip flop, and then the second part was, okay, how do we build a vibe around it? Like, what are the things you could do with this slipper or shoe or flip flop or whatever? And so yeah, it was really fun, and then we built out that imagery around it. So I was also guiding the designer to like, okay, here we want to show like this mountain and this guy chilling in his car, and here we want to do that. And so it was a really fun project. It was very
exactly
very fun.
that. Actually, that kind of relates with the audience as well, right? Like whoever is looking into that particular maybe a design or something like that, it's really mandatory to. I mean, as you said, it's really mandatory to bring out that story in a product, whatever you're going to purchase. That's what.
Yeah, because I mean, a flip flop is a flip flop, right?
Yeah.
Like,
how do you make it unique from other competitors? That's where storytelling, branding, and marketing comes together. But I see like marketing maybe will come at the last stage. Maybe storytelling and branding comes at the first stage, right?
Yes, awesome. Totally. Yeah, totally.
Awesome. I mean, I really like that project which you did.
Yeah, go check it out. Go check out some
Definitely.
of the
I'm gonna check out that product. Definitely, I'm gonna check out that product once our podcast is over, and I'm sure even the audience is also going to go and check out what exactly.
Go ahead, do it.
Awesome.
Yes.
So, what is that piece of advice you wanna give our audience who's listening to this podcast right now?
I would honestly say, like, whether you're a marketer or anybody or the CEO or a CMO or whatever, you need to understand branding, at least the basics. You might not be the best person to carry out the brand story and build that brand narrative. That's fine. Like, you can get someone else to do it, but you need to have some knowledge of branding. And Google is everybody's best friend. Like, spend a couple of hours every day just reading about branding, read about how brands are built, watch videos from The Future, Seth Godin, Gary Vee. I mean, these are all obviously very cliched names, but they do branding really well. I mean, they understand marketing and branding very, very well. And try and dig deeper than just like, my brand is a logo, a color, a tagline, a mission statement. Like, it's so much more. So spend time doing it and bring in brand campaigns along with your marketing campaigns, because it'll allow you to tap into newer audiences, and it'll also allow you to build that very close relationship with your target audience. Marketing cannot always make you go the 100 miles. Like, marketing can maybe make you go 80, but the next 20 has to be with branding. So spend some time and really understand the depth of it, because you should ideally know or have knowledge about both to be a successful marketer or a brand person, to be honest.
I mean, awesome. Like, even I just wanted to even add this point to whatever you said. Like, today, whoever the successful marketers are, they have come up to this level only by doing self-learning and experimenting, all those stuff. Nobody has come up just because they have an MBA degree or whether they have a BBA degree or whatever.
Degree.
But everything is based on whatever you learn and whatever efforts you have put in order to learn that and come up. So even like,
I mean, I don't even know of any college that offers a branding course. So people that have got into branding have actually spent the time to learn branding. So I mean, really trust them because they've done the groundwork. People that just put it up on their LinkedIn or their Twitter saying, hey, we're branding, like, I don't know. I feel very pessimistic until I actually see something and I'm like, oh, that is a brand campaign. Because it's not something that is taught in school. I didn't even have a branding course in school when I was at Northeastern. So really, the people who know branding and are learning branding and are doing it from ground up. So you can start tomorrow. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from doing that.
Awesome. Like many businesses, whether it is big or small, they don't understand the important difference between marketing and branding. Like marketing is just an essential tool for building that product awareness and garnering new leads and meeting their important goals. But in order to send consistent and relatable messages, marketing needs a strong brand to which it should stand on. And understanding the difference between marketing and branding is the key to shape a brand-driven marketing strategy that drives better results. So, I mean, with that being said, I thank Vanshika for coming on to my show and giving out such insightful informations about both marketing and branding.
Yeah, happy to. I'm really happy. And if anyone wants to chat further, please reach out to me, LinkedIn, anywhere. Just find my LinkedIn.
Definitely, I'll be adding your. Guys, I'll be adding her LinkedIn profile in the description. You could definitely check it out, and sure, she's going to help you out in a lot of ways. So yeah,
absolutely.
So with that being said, thank you all for listening to this week's episode on the Marketing Manifest podcast. I will be coming back next week with another interesting episode. Until then, stay safe and stay tuned. This is Emil Eji signing out. Peace out.
See you.